In the software field, which is the best in the United States, Chinese companies can make major breakthroughs without overseas students and bring shocks to the world. This can be called the protagonist moment of the Sino-US game in the field of science and technology. So everyone can also predict that in the future, in other fields such as lithography, Chinese will usher in similar moments again and again. Looking at the world, is China's artificial intelligence open source model, that is, DeepSeek, the protagonist moment in the entire history of AI development, and is it the idea of Sino-US relations? It cannot change some basic facts that have happened in the past few weeks. The most important fact is that Nvidia, the king of stock prices in the United States in 2024, is in. After confirming the news of DeepSeek, its stock price fell by 17% in one day, and its total market value fell by nearly $600 billion. DeepSeek exposed a myth that large American technology companies use invincible capital to continuously raise money for financing, and then use their high profits to monopolize the entire world. AI computing power, Webcook proves that a fast iterating product can be built with a small amount of funds and low costs, and its performance is not inferior to the latest models of these so-called large companies with huge funds. This point has been highly praised by American technical people, especially some other Western technical people who are not used to the United States. This oldness cannot be erased by some network trolls. This was created by a group of young people who have not studied abroad. His founder Liang Wenfeng is already familiar to everyone. When he returned to his hometown during the Spring Festival, the villagers in Jianjing pulled banners and erected arches for him. He graduated from Zhejiang University in China, and his team of more than 100 people basically graduated from domestic schools, and few of them have studied abroad. His team used to work on quantitative funds. After making money, they had a sudden idea and succeeded on July 17, 2023. This big model AI company, whose Chinese name is DeepQuest, has always used data distillation technology to use big models more accurately and precisely to get the answers everyone wants. Half a year after the company was founded, he announced, "Please note that the first model is open source models." On December 26, 2024, the same night when China's sixth-generation fighter was released, it launched the world-shaking V3 open source model. There was a fermentation period of about a month afterwards. Because everyone knew that China would make a breakthrough in this field, but Chinese didn't expect it to come so quickly. After OpenAI opened a new stage of artificial intelligence, it released a video saying that China would definitely not be far behind and would soon catch up. Now it seems that Big Circle has indeed ushered in the Sputnik moment in the field of artificial intelligence. In the following period of time, it actually experienced intensive cyber attacks from some Western countries, and it has not yet been guided. As more and more people use it, around January 20th, when the Davos Forum began, the cat finally ran out of the bag. This is what the Western proverb says, which is called muyi in Chinese. At the Davos Forum, several Western recognized technology giants recognized Big Circle. On the subsequent stock market opening day, it caused a sharp drop in the stocks of a number of American technology companies that rely on AI, among which Nvidia is the representative. At this stage, the more amazing R1 open source model was launched, so it not only caused technological shocks, but also geopolitical shocks. What is the level of BPC? The answers he puts out can basically be described in one sentence, which is called bragging without tax. But in fact, his level is very high. In the fields of international politics and international economy, he is actually at the same level. On the American side, OpenAI first attacked him for plagiarizing him, and then said that he used his data. In fact, OpenAI is not an open AI, Chinese said. In addition, OpenAI uses data from the internet. You can use it, so why can't others use your data? So these statements of OpenAI cannot be self-consistent. Of course, the United States will inevitably use these reasons in the next round of encirclement and suppression of customers. However, judging from the current response of OpenAI, it does support it, and then it also announced that it would open source some new models, so OpenAI had to open source, which also broke the situation. from Biden to Trump, a big conspiracy of the political and economic cooperation of the United States, and also a big conspiracy, is the high degree of combination of the hegemony of the United States and the technology companies of the United States to monopolize the computing power of the world, Chinese say. In the last period, the Biden administration divided the countries that export chips controlled by the United States into 3 categories. Then the more than 10 countries in the first category can enjoy these computing powers and these high-end chips like the United States. Most of the countries in the second category can only get a certain total amount of computing power and cannot transfer it to others. Countries in the third category, such as China, cannot get their most advanced chips, and their computing power and total computing power are limited. At Trump's rescue ceremony, these network upstarts also appeared in a very important position. It can be seen from this that the United States is trying to use its control over AI to create a new colonial system in the era of AI or artificial intelligence. This colonial system is the United States' technological monopoly in AI, coupled with its hegemony in other areas. The emergence shows that under his technical conditions, it does not require such high costs and such large computing power to accomplish great things. This is the Stuttgart moment in this field. Moreover, it is open source to the whole world, which means that any country and its industry with certain technical capabilities can quickly develop its own AI in this field. So India is very happy because the whole world is qualified and capable of entering the field of AI, and it is no longer monopolized by the United States. Now it seems that there are still some people in China who are accustomed to the United States' superior attitude in this field and a colonial attitude. So this is why Chinese technology companies continue to make breakthroughs. In the most powerful software field in the United States, Chinese companies can make major breakthroughs without overseas students and bring shocks to the world. This can be called the Stuttgart moment of the Sino-US game in the field of science and technology. So you can also predict that in the future, in other fields such as optical technology, we will usher in similar moments again and again. Trump has officially taken office for a while, and he has started to impose tariffs and blackmail the world again. However, from the perspective of the development of the Sino-US game, as long as China continues to make breakthroughs in the high-tech field, Chinese will be able to usher in the Sputnik moment of the great power game. The so-called Sputnik moment was the launch of the Soviet satellite in the late 1950s. After that, the United States inspired unity, and eventually the United States was the first to send its astronauts to the moon. The current Sputnik moment has inspired Chinese scientific and technological personnel to unite as one and continue to make breakthroughs in the field of technology. This has to go back to the words on October 1, 1949, when Chinese scientific and technological personnel finally stood up.